What's the word, everyone? And welcome to the very first episode of the Real and the Ugly podcast, the show where the takes are raw, the debates get wild, and nobody's holding back at all. I'm your unapologetic host, Vaughn, and I'm here with my three brothers. The first one we're going to start with is the Go Al. Say
Hey,
what's up, Al.
yo, you know I'm the realest in the ugly. Just know that.
Okay, that's the realest and the ugly. And then we got my brother Tyler. Say what's up, Tyler.
Yeah, I'm bringing the real. That nigga just the ugly. Let's go.
And then we got
Yo,
not least but not last, my brother Nick.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be the realist, but I'm gonna be controversial, so I might get canceled. But here we go.
Oh, oh man. So, with this being the first episode and all, I just wanted you guys to get to know us a little bit, give you guys a couple of maybe our favorite teams, give you a couple of our hottest takes. So for me personally, my favorite team, as you can see in the back, my favorite football team is the Chargers. Fortunately, I don't have the jersey on right now. My favorite ball club is the Warriors. And my take that I have for a lot of people that I don't think many people are going to expect, and I wore this jersey for this exact reason. Believe LaMelo Ball has the biggest growth next season in the East, becoming a MVP candidate for the Charlotte Hornets, with the addition of Cooper Flag.
Okay.
That's your hottest take?
Yeah.
All right.
yeah, that's your hottest take.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't think it's that hot. I feel like we all know he could do it if he's on the court.
No, but at the same time, that
MVP
boy,
though? Who's
that
saying MVP?
LaMelo will never be MVP, and that's just my hot take.
Nick,
Your
hold on,
hottest
hold
take
on,
up
hold
on
on.
me.
That's not my hottest take.
One mic. Nick, how you
Hey,
feel about that?
you
Yeah.
know,
Nah, I don't think he'll be the best player on the team if Cooper Flag is there. So.
Like I said, man, 6'7", best player in the East next season.
I guess I
In the
don't
NBA
disagree.
next season.
I was gonna say, I guess I don't disagree. I'm just on the side of he has the talent. Cuz just got to stay on the floor.
That's what we like to hear, man.
All right, who you got?
So what about you, Nick? Let's hear about your favorite teams.
Yeah, so I'm a Laker fan. The Giants, baseball, Yankees,
Lakers.
even though I don't watch it. And then my hot take is Jalen Milroe is going to be the best quarterback in this class. And actually, if he goes to the right team, so I think he'll go to the Steelers or something.
You just said Jalen Milroe?
Damn right, Jalen Milroe.
Go ahead. I'll let
Best
you go
quarterback.
first. Go ahead.
hey,
Jalen Milroe.
Damn right.
Jalen Milroe.
Nick,
You want to know?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You want to know who Jalen Milroe's pro comp to me is?
Deshaun Watson.
No.
Taysom Hill.
No. Zachary Wilson.
Oh.
That's who Jalen Milroe is going to be.
I think he could be a poor man's Jalen Hurts.
I think if the poor man scraped 2 pennies, why not?
All right.
All right. I got 2 questions for you then, Nick.
Okay.
You think a poor man's Jalen Hurts is gonna be better than Cam and Shador?
Hey, that running ability, man. He runs like a fucking. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Just one more question. Just that's fine. One more
I hope
question.
you see me
sipping
sipping my tea during that.
One more question. Would you like if Jalen Milroe was the Giants starting quarterback?
Yeah, over Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson? Hell yeah.
Okay.
In the second round?
I disagree wholeheartedly, but I hear you.
Fuck it.
No, we're going to have to move on from that one. That one just hurt my brain. We're going to go on to our brother Al.
Oh, man.
I'm a Chargers fan, Cavs fan,
Shitty.
and I don't watch baseball, but I'm a Washington Capitals fan. And
hold on. Before you even continue, the Capitals do not play baseball.
damn, they do not.
That's hockey, buddy.
So just so the people know, we see whose takes may be a little invalid.
Yeah, I don't even watch baseball, so it don't even matter. But at the same time, my hot take of the NBA is that the Thompson twins are going to be all-stars in the next 3 to 5 years.
I thought it was
Oh,
supposed to be
okay.
hot take.
That's not hot, boy. That's
I'm
cold.
gonna tell you.
Boy, I
I
need a
mean,
cover.
cooking.
I need a blanket for that.
He said
Okay.
Yeah,
both
they're
of them.
cooking.
So
I need a blanket for that.
he said
Okay,
both.
and then Thompson's going to be
Yeah.
MVP in the next 3 to 5 years.
Oh,
That's not
But
hot.
You don't believe
no,
that.
that's
I
extremely
believe that.
You don't
I
believe.
believe that.
You don't believe.
No,
The
that's
Rockets
crazy.
give that nigga. The
Could you-
Rockets
could-
give that
listen,
boy
listen.
the keys.
Could you imagine somebody winning an MVP who doesn't shoot threes?
Yes.
That's not dominant in the paint either.
That doesn't average 30 points. Yeah, like come on.
He can do it though.
Does he?
The second year.
The question
Second year.
the question is, Ben Simmons can shoot threes too, right? In practice.
Ben Simmons can't shoot nothing.
Okay, I've seen practice video of Ben Simmons hitting a lot of shots. So
Yeah, and Tyler's asleep right now. Y'all talking about Ben Simmons? That's crazy.
I'm just trying to prove my point. Is that can they do it? Yes. Do they do it? No.
Yo, but at the same time, it's the second year. What was the Rockets' record last year? And what seed were they? They were 8th seed. They're second right now, and he played way more this season than last year. Give him 3 to 5 years, he'll probably be the star of that team right there. And he'll probably take them to the 1 or 2 seed again in the next 3 to 5 years.
Brother, man, I think all of us will say in agreement we're gonna have to agree to disagree. But we're gonna.
That's not worse than my take, but it's almost there.
Yeah, it's pretty cold still. I still need a blanket. And last but not least, Tyler, let's hear about your teams, brother.
I like how you did that. You say the champions for last. I do like that. I
Champions
do
for
like
life.
that.
That's
But-
crazy.
You know, nobody touched on college football because they're ashamed. But my favorite college football team is Ohio State.
First of all, I will never ever be ashamed of Penn State. Anyway, continue.
Yeah,
Sorry,
and
Mr.
I'm a
Bro.
Florida Gator fan.
Y'all got some
so
shady
it don't even
history.
matter.
I don't have a favorite team.
All right. So, like I said, Ohio State is my favorite college football team. The NFL, once again, you can congratulate me. I am a Philadelphia Eagles fan. And
Ooh.
in the NBA, I do like the LeBron old Lakers. I'm a LeBron fan, not a Lakers fan. I'm about to be a Luka fan.
You know the Lakers, man. They just tied up the
And
series.
for my hot take, Jalen Hurts.
Don't say he's winning the MVP next season. I will
No,
fucking
he's the best quarterback in this league. Just hands down. He's better than Patrick Mahomes. He's better than Josh Allen. He's the best quarterback. Not because of the Super Bowl. He's better. He's just better.
So am I trying to understand that your hot take is that Jalen Hurts will solidify himself as QB1 of the NFL?
Yeah, so you're saying Jalen Hurts will be MVP next season?
Definitely not what I said. Delvon, yes.
Okay.
No, bro. Because
I'm
The
not gonna-
best player does not always win MVP.
We literally
They
seen
might
this last
hold.
year because we know who the MVP really was.
yeah,
That's what I'm
Josh
saying.
Allen.
So I'm not saying he's
What?
going to win MVP.
Josh Allen was the MVP.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we get down that road. But you know,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
but
lie.
yeah,
we're gonna.
I don't
leave
know
that
how they
road where
feel.
it's at.
With less
We're gonna-
weapons and more wins.
Listen,
Just saying.
listen, brothers.
Less weapons, more wins.
We're gonna leave that where it's at. I don't know about that take, brother, but trust me, we will revisit that very soon. But anyways, with this outstanding NBA season coming to a close, I think we should talk about some of the award winners. As we know, with today being April 23rd, we have already missed a couple of the award winners. We have missed the Sixth Man of the Year, which I don't think we would have chose Peyton Pritchard. Maybe some others.
agreed. Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah.
And we also missed out, unfortunately, on the NBA Clutch Player of the Year, what happened to be Jalen Brunson, the greatest Knick of all time, by the way. But we still have a few more that we can discuss here. I think we should start off with the biggest one of them all, the MVP. As we know, they have to put 3 finalists, but I think everybody in the league has this as a 2-man race. And I think the top 2 for pretty much everybody is going to be between Nikola Jokic and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Well, who do you boys have as the MVP of this season?
They should have won it last year. I feel like Nikola should have won it this year, but they're gonna give it to Shea this year because he should have won it last year.
You're blaming a little bit of voters fatigue.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair. You don't think Shea earned it having the best record in the league?
No, I don't think he earned it. I feel like Nikola's been playing way better. But I feel like Shea was supposed to be MVP last year, but they messed up. So I feel like they gotta do their wrongs, and they gonna give it to Shea.
Okay, that's fair.
Partially agree with that. I think Shea should have won it last year, and they messed up by not giving it to him. But the way Nikola ended the year, I don't want him to win it again just because the class is going to put him in. But I don't think there's no way you can't. He's what, less than 10 people to average a triple double. Obviously, the team success wasn't there, but bro, you take Nikola off that team, it's a wrap. Obviously, if you do the same with the Thunder, they might miss the playoffs. They might go from one to missing the playoffs. But if we just look at the player comparisons, and mind you, I want SGA to win it, but that's why I think they messed up so bad last year by not giving it to him. I think Nikola has to win it.
But I feel like Nikola Jokic does this like every year. Like this man literally averages damn near a triple double every year.
But you can't penalize him for that.
It's the same thing as Russ, bro.
Russ was not doing it to the magnitude.
We haven't seen a center do it. We haven't seen a center do it.
But it's
Nick, who you got? Hold on, let's see.
Rebounds. It's easier to do it as a center and get rebounds than being a point guard and getting rebounds and then gain assists. Like that's basically you saying like, oh, Russ is getting the assists, but the rebounds is magnitude, but like Nikola Jokic is getting rebounds, but the assists too, that's the same thing. It's basically the same thing as doing Russ. Russ averaged like a triple-double 3 years in a row. You might as well give it to him 3 years in a row.
I don't agree with that because he wasn't the best player 3 years in a row. But we're going to leave it there. Nick, what about you?
Yeah. I'm going to go with SGA because the team success and then the stats. And I think he should have won last year, so the voter fatigue with Jokic. But if SGA wasn't number one, if they were like the 2 or 3 seed, I'd probably say Jokic.
I understand.
Plus they didn't have a center for what, like 10 games?
More than that.
Yeah, so
I think it's going to be Joker. Games. I mean, I think it's going to be SGA, but I think it should be Joker. I think
I think it should be Joker, but it's going to be SGA.
I think voters fatigue is going to play a big role in that. Unfortunately, this go around, and voters fatigue has hit a lot of people that it shouldn't have, and robbed some people of all-time legacies. But I guess
I got just one question to ask though, like not related. I mean, it is related to this, but just one question. What? How do you think that's going to look when we look back at Joker's MVP years, and the year they don't give it to him is going to be his best year? Like, how does that even look?
I mean, the same thing happened with Brown with James Harden. That's kind of a hot take, but that's crazy. But same thing happened.
It wasn't statistically his best year, though. This is statistically Joker's best year.
Yeah. And when you compare it to
this is going to be the year that he doesn't get MVP. Like, how does that look? That looks stupid. Like,
and they should have gave it to SGA last year, but they didn't.
We all can agree on that. We all said that. That has nothing to do with what I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean.
So you're going to give it to him the 4th time when he should have won it?
Dude, you're not listening. Listen to the question. You're not listening. It has nothing to do with who's winning the MVP. Listen to the question, cut. How does that look if he wins MVP 3 times, but on the 4th year where he loses it, it's his best statistical year? Like, the voters just look stupid. It's more of a voter question than who's going to win.
It's going to be voter fatigue. That's what I'm going to think when I see it.
It does look stupid, but that's the NBA, bro.
I honestly, personally feel like that they need to let the players vote.
Yeah,
so,
not the media.
That's more what I'm looking for. So you think the committee is just out of touch?
Yes, bro.
I think voters fatigue is a real thing. And I think that with voters fatigue being a real thing, like you said, it is going to look a bit like gnarly that this is the best season that Joker has put out and it's not going to be rewarded. But I kind of also see like I understand a bit where Alfani's coming from saying like we've seen him do this, but at the same time, it's just the first time that on paper it says that he's averaged a triple double, but he's flirted with a triple double the last 4 years.
Yeah, so like literally you can be like, "Oh, Joker's been the best player in the league for like the last 5 seasons, but he only won 3 MVPs. Well, 2 or 3. He's 3 in a row or 2 in a row. I don't know. I might be getting my facts mixed up.
I think he won 3 MVPs in like 4 5 years.
That's what I'm saying. So like he's doing this every year, but this is the year that he averages triple double, and y'all gonna give it to him because he's averaging triple double, but he's averaged like 9.4 assists every other year, or
I just
like
think if his
8.9. That's crazy.
I just think if his team was seated higher, it would matter more. But we're gonna talk about the next one up. We're gonna talk about is the Kia Most Improved Player of the Year. Our nominees are Cade Cunningham, Dyson Daniels, and Zubac.
I'm giving it to Dyson Daniels.
Why do you
Only because he led the league in steals, plus he's averaging probably like 15. He's averaging 15 right now. Plus Zubac, and I'm not even going to put Kate in that joint because he's literally been one of the best players on the Pistons, and he's scored 30 multiple times. Plus, like, the Pistons are good this year, but I wouldn't say that's all on Cade. I feel like that's coaching as well. JB
But you just
Bickerstaff,
said he's the best player on the team, so doesn't he kind of hold that responsibility?
yeah, he does. But, like, at the same time, I wouldn't put him as the best player since he was #1 overall pick. You're supposed to be the best player on the team.
So you're gonna hold it against him because he lives up to expectations.
He's literally improved every year. You're supposed to give it to him every time he improves every year.
He did regress in rebounds his last year, but then brought them back up this year. Just for that.
So just rebounds, you're supposed to give it to him.
He also
Okay,
has more assists than
and
he ever had.
you're gonna give it to Dyson because he averages a lot of steals and averages 14 points.
Dyson
And he's a
Daniels.
role player. He's not even a starter.
So what was Dyson Daniels before this?
He averaged
I'm not
5.8
gonna help
points
you. This
last
is
year.
your argument. You tell me what he
Nah,
was before this.
I'm saying, give me the stats, Nick. He averaged 5 point what?
5.8 points last year.
5.8 points, but you're supposed to give it to the person that's supposed to be the best player on the team, supposed to average the most points, the point guard, so he's supposed to get the most assists. Oh, rebounds, that's cool. But the person
I just want to. The point guard doesn't always have to get the most
than
assists.
any year he's ever been in the league.
I just want to say the point guard doesn't have to get the most assists. LeBron's not a point guard. Sabonis is not a point guard. Nikola Jokic is not a point guard.
Okay, I feel that.
I'm just saying. You just
Yeah, I get that. I get that. But at the same time, I feel like Dyson Daniels deserves it. He averaged 5.8 points last season, and now he's averaging 15, and he's leading the league in steals. He is one of the top runners for Defensive Player of the Year, but he
He is
doesn't
in
deserve
fact not a
most improved.
finalist. Just saying, it's not a finalist.
He's not a
I think,
finalist.
I think he was like top 5.
He's not a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year.
No.
No, I think it's Draymond, Mobley, and
I'm looking at it
I thought-
right.
All right.
I thought Dyson
Alfani,
was.
Oh,
I'm gonna let you know you sound ridiculous, but I just got one question for you, which you're completely like neglecting. He also got a boost by at least 11 minutes per game. Was he just not supposed to be productive with those extra minutes he got?
I just have to pause everybody and say that he is a defensive finalist.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that because he is. I know he is because I saw this joint today. He's a defensive finalist. He averaged 15 points a game plus
14. 14.
It is 14.
14. Okay, it's 14. Who cares about that shit? So
You keep bringing it up.
going to 5 to 14 is not improving.
Obviously, it is. He also went from 22 minutes to 33 minutes.
Okay, but he's not the main scorer on the team. He's not even
Which
the
means
third
he has
option.
less attention.
He's not the third option on the team.
Which means he has less attention. Just hit open shots.
You could say the same about Ty Jerome, but that boy.
Who is talking about Ty Jerome?
I am.
Okay.
I am
Anyway,
because I
think
like
we're gonna go away from. We're gonna get away from this rambling that's going on here. Nick, who do you have as your most improved player?
I want to give it to Dyson Daniels or Zubac, but I'm not gonna lie.
You can only pick one.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Dyson Daniels just because I like the most. For the most improved, it's somebody that wasn't basically shit, and they just became good, and they fulfilled, and they got the opportunity to take advantage of it. So that's why I want to give it to Dyson Daniels. I think he almost tripled his points, and then I think 3-point percentage was 34%. I think it was 31% last year. And then you got to guard the other team's best player. And the way I think he led the steals by like 80.
No, probably almost 90, Nick.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying.
He was getting like 8 steals, 7 steals, 6
a
steals.
Game.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
A game.
I wanted to say Zubac.
Let me ask you guys a question though.
Yeah.
Does you leading in steals mean that you're the best defender?
I mean,
I think there's a bunch.
Or does that make you a top defender in the league?
I think he was one of the best.
It makes you one of the best defenders in the league.
I was only asking because just Steph Curry has led the league in steals before, and nobody's ever said
exactly. And I knew exactly what you were asking.
Also,
had that. No,
I mean, also when I watch him play, he's a good defender. So
I mean, he's a good defender.
He navigates through screens.
I think the steals are hyped a lot. I mean,
yeah, no, they are.
But I think it's hyped more than it.
But he also plays like on the ball, good defense, navigates through screens. So it's not like the reading the passing lane type steals. Like he actually gets plucks too. So
brothers.
Yeah. Anyway, and Tyler, what about you? Who do you have as your most improved player of this season?
I'm not mad at Dyson Daniels. I just didn't like the explanation, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm giving it to Zubac. I feel like his numbers, it didn't jump as high, but if you translate that to team success, he was pivotal. Like, sure, Dyson Daniels had hella steals, 14 points. What did it equate to? It doesn't mean anything for his team success. It don't mean, Zubac, the Clippers, bro, they look good. And Zubac is a big part of that. So I'm gonna give it to Zubac.
I agree with you on that, Tyler, with the take on Zubac for the exact same reason. I think the team success matters a lot in a most improved player. Zubac upped his rebounds, he upped his points, and he averaged a block a game, upped his assist. I think everything was up this year, and I just think that, the team success, I think, is the biggest thing for me. Like you said with Dyson did a lot, and Dyson did do better, but I think when you're put in a larger role with more minutes, it's kind of expected. And so, I mean, it's also not as if he was the second option, or I don't even believe he really is the third option. I think they liked Jalen Johnson over him. I think they liked to give it down to the big man before they gave it to him. So I think he just kind of got the easy side, but, all respect to Dyson Daniels. I have no hatred towards Dyson Daniels. I think he had a great season. Next up, we're going to come down to another tough one. There may be some bias.
Wait. So we're split. 2 Dyson, 2 Zubac. So y'all gotta let us know. Y'all gotta let us know who y'all riding with. Y'all feeling Zubac or y'all feeling Dyson Daniels? But go ahead, my fault.
The next player that we're going to talk about are the defensive players and our defensive players of the year. We have Dyson Daniels, Draymond Green, and Evan Mobley. There may be some bias in this one, as I was saying before.
There's definitely bias
And
in
I
this
think I'm
one.
going to start this off, and I'm going to stay biased.
All
I'll
right.
go to Draymond Green. I think Draymond's defensive impact is outstanding. He's been an all defensive player probably the last 3 years, except for the year that he couldn't because of time or injury. Any other time he's on the court, he's been a defensive player. Without him, I don't like he just powers the whole Warriors defense. He's the quarterback. He's our linebacker. I think he's the best overall defender in the league. He can guard the 1 through 5. You know, he might have a little bit of trouble with the 1, but his smarts is what gets him done. You know, but maybe I'm a swing past the Cavs fan. I'm gonna go with Nick and see who he feels is the defender of the year.
I knew you were gonna
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Evan Mobley just because best defensive player on one of the best defensive teams, and then he can also guard multiple positions, not as well as Draymond, but I think he guards the bigs obviously better, and then he does pretty decent on the smaller players. So I'm gonna go with Evan Mobley for Defensive Player of the Year. And I feel like Draymond talked himself into the Defensive Player of the Year because I feel like nobody was mentioning Draymond Green until he started bringing it up.
Understandable. How about you?
Victor and like Jaren Jackson and Dyson Daniels, and then Evan Mobley, and then
Now that is something I really agree with you on. I believe that if Victor Wembanyama did not get hurt, there wouldn't even be.
Oh yeah. It wouldn't even be a discussion.
There wouldn't be a discussion, but
We're
Tyler?
still gonna go past you, and we're gonna go over to
yeah, I'll go last for sure.
Tyler, who is your defensive player of the year?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I have not put much thought in it, but from what I'm seeing, I'm gonna X Dyson Daniels out. Like I said, I don't believe just having a lot of steals is gonna equate for you being the best defensive player, especially if you're not taking on the toughest defensive matchup. So I'm not even worried about that. It's real easy to come off of your man and help the other one. Between Evan Mobley and Draymond, I'm not gonna lie. I gotta give it to Draymond. Kind of off what Delvon said, Draymond just does it all. Like, you take Draymond away, like, Draymond shouldn't even be playing center, bro. And for him to really, like, be given them minutes, and then, bro, look at, like, just even the height difference. Like, Draymond is only averaging 1 block, but you look at the build of Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley's only averaging 1.6 blocks, and Draymond's averaging more steals, and Draymond's guarding. I'll give him the 2 through the 5. I'm not gonna give him 1 through the 5, but same thing, more than Evan Mobley can do. He's more versatile. He means more for his team. The stats are comparable when I feel like they shouldn't even be close. And yeah, I just feel like Draymond is irreplaceable for what he does, especially this year. I don't think the same for Evan Mobley.
I also think that Evan Mobley has a little bit better help defensively than Draymond.
Agreed. Defensively, Evan Mobley is more sound. His team is more sound. I agree with that also. And like you said, when it comes to help defense, sliding over, doing rotations, like, it just helps a lot more when you got smart, athletic, good defenders around you. With Evan Mobley has a whole team of. But yeah, that's why I give it to Draymond.
I'm not gonna lie. Evan Mobley should win Defensive Player of the Year this year, since he should have won it last year. But no, 2 years ago. But Jaren Jackson won it. And plus, I know y'all say that Evan Mobley has a lot of help defense, but Jaren Jackson, what's his name? Jared Allen, he does not move as quick as a bunch of other people.
He doesn't need to.
That's what Evan Mobley's for. All he has to do is
literally.
Plus, he can do everything on the defensive side.
He's not guarding the 1 or the 2 guard.
He can guard the 2 guard.
Okay.
Come on, man. Have you not watched Cavs games this season?
I'm not wasting my time.
He is one of the reasons that the Cavs are the number 1 seed in the East.
Cool. Now for the defensive side of the ball. Y'all was going to do that regardless.
We were going through that when he wasn't playing. But when he was playing, Were we not blowing teams out by 20? Were we
Okay,
not
and
blowing
when he
teams out
wasn't
by
playing,
50?
were y'all still winning?
Yeah, but barely.
Replaceable. That's what it sounds like.
Not replaceable.
All right,
Okay.
well, let's replace this topic with the NBA Coach of the Year. We
Yeah,
have finalist Kenny Atkinson of the Cleveland Cavaliers. We have JB Bickerstaff, former Cleveland Cavalier coach, now Detroit Pistons coach. And we have Ime Udoka, formerly the husband of Nia Long.
R.I.P. Get well soon.
So who
Can
do
I
we
go
have
first?
as the
first.
Coach of the Year? Why not? Cavs.
I would say it would be Kenny Atkinson, but I'll give it to. I'm gonna give it to JB Bickerstaff because what he did with the Pistons, because they were at the bottom of the East, and now they're in the playoffs right now. Just won their first playoff game in like 15 years. That's why I'm gonna give it to him because he takes any team that is trash and he moves them up and he puts them in playoff position.
He has done that the last 2 years, so that's very understandable. What about
That's
you,
what
Nick?
I'm
Who do you have
saying.
as the Coach of the Year?
Yeah, JB Bickerstaff. He took that. Oh, it's my first. He took that terrible team from
He was
losing
about to
20.
wild out.
Yeah, he took that terrible
Out.
team from winning 20.
You
I'm
got-
gonna go
He
with
was about to
I'm gonna go
wild.
with JB Bickerstaff because that team was absolute garbage. And they added what their second best player this year was Malik Beasley, and he couldn't hit any threes with the Lakers or the Bucks, but then he goes to the Pistons and just starts to do his job. So, and they didn't
I
have
also
their
feel
second
like
best.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You think or Jalen Duren, and he could be the second best player.
No,
But they
I
didn't
wasn't
have
even going to
Jay.
say that. I just felt like Malik Beasley, like he lost all the pressure. He went from being on teams that actually had what's the right word?
Expectations, yeah.
Exactly. And now with the
Um,
Pistons, he's just allowed to shoot as much as he
And
wants.
so that
plus
means
they
next year he's
added
gonna
a
be
Men
trash.
Thompson this
One
year,
mic, one
played
mic,
a
one
full
mic.
season.
And then
Men Thompson played a full season
then
this year, which
yeah.
made them a way better defensive team. Not gonna lie.
Well, good thing we're talking about Coach of the Year and not Defender of the Year. Tyler, who do you have for Defender of the Year? I mean, Coach of the Year. My head got mixed up.
Got your head messed up. No, I know what you mean. For Coach of the Year, I'm gonna obviously say the same thing for a completely different reason though. I think it's real easy to look at Coach of the Year like most improved. Just look what you did last year and then look what you do the year after. But that's not why I'm gonna give it to him. I'm gonna give it to him just because I don't know. His players play for him. Like out of the all three, I mean, Udoka's a good coach. Kenny Atkinson is working with the most talent. Bickerstaff just did the most with the least, and he just got them boys playing for him. Like he got Detroit turned up, and I like that. Detroit's turned up because of the players, the atmosphere. And definitely, you can't look the coaching over. So I'm gonna go Bickerstaff.
Yeah, that's understandable. You know, for me personally, Ime could never get my vote for that generational fumble. So, JB Bickerstaff, that's for me, brother.
Okay, we all
Last,
agree.
but
Yeah,
Nice one.
Tyler, I'm not gonna lie. This boy JB Bickerstaff might bring the bad boy Pistons back to what they used to be.
I mean,
See,
yeah,
I don't even like hearing that, bro. The NBA, I ain't gonna cap. NBA is trash back then, bro. We need some new Pistons, a new nickname. I don't even want these Pistons compared to that Pistons, bro. That's just disrespectful. Just let this be that, let that be that. Because it's a whole new environment now.
I get what you're saying. Like out with the old and in with the new.
Yeah, like
The
don't
new
even
rookies of the
compare the
year.
two, bro.
Let us talk about them now. The new class. Who do you guys have as your rookie of the year? Your top three are Stephon Castle, Zachary Ricochet, and Jalen Wells.
Before
Sorry,
y'all go,
Castle.
go ahead.
You know, Nick, I'll let you start off with this one. I feel like you haven't gotten the first go yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Stephon Castle by a landslide, not even close. Definitely the best rookie out of all of them. I think he was playing good the whole year, and I think they're gonna regret
He
trading.
did play 81 games as well. I think that should be something that should be
He played.
shined on.
Yeah, he played good the whole year, and I think they're gonna regret the Kings are gonna regret not trading for him with the De'Aaron Fox trade, and I also think he'll be better than De'Aaron Fox probably.
I will say my biggest knock on him is he has a very poor shooting percentage from
Oh
three.
yes, it's terrible.
It's it's new. Everything's
Under
new. So I
30%.
won't hold it against him. Some people change over time.
Yeah. I think he could do everything but shoot like consistently.
Yeah, that's fair. What about you, Tyler?
Um, we'll let Alfani go first. Let's see what he has to say.
Yeah.
I'm going with Stephon Castle as well because ever since Wemby's been out, he's been the best player on the team. And even though the Spurs have not been a great team this season, I feel like they have really good upside with Area 51 right there. That's all I got to say for real.
With Area 51.
That's what they call him, and I'm sticking by it because Area 51 is going to go stupid the next 3 seasons.
Well, I think I'm going to go a different route from everybody else. I think Stephon Castle had a great year, but I think I would believe it's going to be Zachary Richardson. I think they might give it to him for he started more games, stolen the fire a little bit earlier, and he had better shooting splits than Stephon Castle. I think Stephon Castle, like was said earlier, he did what he was supposed to do with the number one option gone. And as a new player trying to show what he can and cannot do and showcase his talents, I think he did a good job at it. But I just like Richardson a little bit better. I think he's a little bit better glue guy. So that's just my personal opinion. But
I guess I'm left. I'm gonna go with Research Safe for basically the same reason. Stephon Castle, one, has great mentors around him. Like I feel like he has the biggest upside. For Zachary, he started more games. His numbers don't look better than Stephon Castle's, but for the role he was in, it's a little tougher to get your buckets and do what you want. And as a rookie, I'm not looking at team success. You're still trying to figure it out, and you're not looking to take your team as a rookie to the next level. You still trying to get your feet wet. So I'm gonna go with Zachary for the same reason. I just feel like the role he was in and still being productive in that role, I got to give it to him.
Understandable. What position does he play?
I feel like there's a better
Power
team
forward.
on here.
Power forward.
I think he's more of a three. I think he's more of a three.
He's listed as a 4, but he's more of a 3.
Yeah, when they got Jalen Johnson will play the 3. He'll play the 4.
So would you compare him to Alex Sarr on the Wizards?
Not at all.
That's a full-blown center, bro. He did their center.
So,
he's like 7 foot though?
Zachary Richardson is like 6'10".
He's 6'10".
I think 6'10". 6'9".
6'9", 6'7".
6'7".
He's 6'7".
6? I don't know.
I was gonna say, yeah,
6'7".
6'7". I'm singing the song for real.
Well, let's continue on with the trend of individual players. And I say that we talk about this this anonymous poll. I think we start with the biggest one that's been everywhere. Tyrese Halliburton has been voted the most overrated player in the NBA. How do you guys feel about
that? I agree.
You think he's overrated?
He had one good season, and ever since then, this boy has been trash.
Trash?
I mean, he had a pretty
not trash.
He averaged like 18 and 9.
I'm not gonna say trash, but they had him on all-star level, and he hasn't been an all-star ever since he made the all-star team last season.
It's only been one season, though.
Well, I mean, it's been one season, but you got elevate, not decline.
I mean, he had the Pascal Siakam. I feel like took a much larger, not a much larger, but I think he took a larger role in the offense this year. So
But wasn't he on the
that could
team
apply.
last season?
I think he got traded there last season. Yeah.
In the middle of the season, wasn't it? The middle of
Correct.
the season.
Now.
Yeah.
So like he was still cooking in the playoffs. Plus, at the end of the season, when Pascal Siakam got traded over there. So what's the difference between this season and last season? Well, the end of last season and this season.
I'm confused though. You're saying he's the most overrated, but you're also saying he was cooking. So I'm
No,
really
like he was
confused.
cooking last season, right? Yeah, he was cooking last season.
And
But
what's he
this
doing this
season,
year?
he hasn't done anything for real. Pascal Siakam and Nemhard have been the best players on their team this last season.
Okay.
Pascal Siakam played 41 games last year for the Pacers and averaged basically the same stats he averaged this year. He averaged 21 points in his 41 games. He averaged 20 this year. He averaged 7.8 rebounds last year. He's averaging 7 this year. 5 and 5 on the assists. So pretty much all of it's the same. Or I'm sorry, 3 and 3 on the assists. So
And
he's basically giving out the same output as last year.
what did Tyrese Halliburton do this year?
He was trash up until the All-Star break. After the All-Star
Tyrese
break,
Halliburton this year averaged 18 points, 1.4 steals, 3 rebounds, 9 assists to 1 turnover.
One turnover?
Yep. 1.6 if you want to be precise.
yeah, like one of the highest assist to turnover ratios. So it was
Ever?
crazy.
The lowest?
Yeah, my bad, Lois.
The lowest.
Yeah, so that's good.
That's pretty
He
good.
shot 38% from 3 this year, which is better than he shot last year. Same
And field goal
percentage, he shot 47.
47.
85 from the charity stripe.
Well, I guess I'm wrong.
Y'all can go next. You know what?
I'll go Tyler next. Tyler, what you think?
Okay, so out of the top three, I don't know if you said the whole list, but the top three, I ain't gonna lie, the top three to me, I feel like are debatable. Everything
the
under
top
that,
three?
I ain't gonna lie, whoever voted on this be hated. Like, there's no reason Giannis should even have a vote. There's no reason. I mean, I guess some of them you can argue Bradley Beal, maybe, but to answer your question, I agree with it. I do feel like Gobert should have been maybe above him or it had been a little closer because Halliburton's sitting at 14% and Gobert's sitting at 10%. I feel like that gap should have been a little closer, if not Gobert ahead of him. But Trae Young being third most overrated, I disagree with that. That top two to me, I don't really care how you put it. It's interchangeable, but I agree with it.
That's fair.
So you agree that Tyrese Halliburton's overrated?
You want me to repeat what I just said?
No, I don't. I just want to make sure that I'm getting what you're saying.
I feel like the top two, Rudy Gobert and Tyrese Halliburton, it's interchangeable. I don't care who's at one, who's at two. I feel like out of the league and the accolades and the, I guess, respect that these people get, yes, those two are my top two. I don't care how you slice it, but yeah.
Well, Tyler, I'm not going to lie to you. I think Rudy Gobert is terrible, but that's just me. I think he's just a terrible player and he just gets rebounds and dunks, but that's just me.
Speaking of terrible, let's stay on that trend of terrible. The worst organization that was voted by the anonymous poll was
No,
the
you didn't
Charlotte
ask that. You didn't ask that. You didn't ask that.
Was who?
Yeah. I'll just make mine short and sweet because it was short and sweet anyway. Rudy Gobert, and it's like dropping a bowling ball on my foot and dropping a brick on my foot. They're both gonna hurt. So I'm just gonna go with Rudy Gobert because Rudy Gobert is literally unplayable. And I watched the Lakers game one And yeah, he couldn't play, bro. He can't. He'll have Gabe Vincent on him in the paint, and they won't give him the ball. So that says all you need to know. So I'm gonna go Rudy Gobert, even though I don't like Tyrese Halliburton at all.
See, like
But I'm
when
going with Rudy Gobert. I think
Nick,
Tyrese Halliburton is better than him.
Nick, I'm not gonna lie. I did not know Rudy Gobert was in the conversation. Nick,
Yeah, he's number 2.
Dalvon only said Tyrese Halliburton. So literally, I'm going Rudy Gobert as number 1 because he's literally terrible to me. I feel like if I was his height, oh my gosh, I averaged 20 and 20. But that's just hypothetical. But like being for real, I think Rudy Gobert is terrible. I think if he can't box out for real, he literally misses layups all the time. He doesn't get rebounds. He literally really doesn't do anything else, and he barely blocks shots. I don't think he should have 3 or 4 defensive player of the years. I think he should have none, but that's just me. Anybody can debate that, but that's just me. I think Rudy Gobert is one of the worst centers in NBA history, but that's just me.
I think you're gonna be alone on that boat, brother. I don't think it's one of the worst, but it's understandable.
He might be top 5.
Tyrese Halliburton is overrated. That he is overrated. But
He's
I
overrated, but not more than overrated than Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is like literally
Alfani, please don't say the same shit you just said 3 times in a row, cut.
No, they praise him for playing defense.
Nigga, you just said that. We heard you, my nigga. We get it. We heard you. We heard you.
Defense, bro. Like,
nigga, we hear you. We hear you. We hear you. You just said the same thing 3 times, cut. We hear you. He's the worst center of all time. We hear you. We hear you.
Okay, I got you.
Thank you.
Nothing else.
I'm going a different route for my personal most overrated player. He didn't make the list, but I think that Mr. Bradley Beal is very overrated.
Yeah, he did. He's fine.
Yeah, but not close enough. I need him.
It's only 4%.
I think Tyrese Halliburton does what he's supposed to do. I think Rudy Gobert does what he's supposed to do. I think Bradley Beal is the biggest robber that we've ever seen in the NBA. It's either him or Paul George. They're neck and neck right now.
You think so?
I do, wholeheartedly.
I got one question for you.
Yeah.
Are you calling him overrated just based off of this season or just talent, just everything?
Well, I've said numerous times I would have never in my life ever even thought about giving him a no trade clause.
But all right. You were there to witness how he was. I mean, y'all are from the DMV.
So let me ask you a question.
Last year in Washington, when it was 40, 40, 40, 40, 40.
But that's the Wizards, though.
But listen, though. Hear me out, right?
Anybody can strive on the Wizards, though.
Somebody has to score. And he just happened to be the guy that got the chance to score. What happens when he plays with other top dogs? He's just gone. And he's not even the best player. He has the 3rd best defender, and he has games where he has 5 points.
No, just a question.
I think he is very overrated until proven otherwise. I don't even think that especially when I think of overrated, I think of what kind of money are you making versus your production. And his money and production is horrible.
So I wouldn't disagree with you, especially if you speak on money. Overpaid for sure.
Production, though?
I just think you're literally around 2 other superstars who are better than you talent-wise, will have a better career than you, and you just don't know how to take being the 3rd option. Like, it just doesn't work.
But
I just feel like, yes.
Let me speak on something that Dalvon is saying.
Go ahead.
He literally went to the Suns thinking that he was going to be this 21, 22, 15 player of the game.
You don't know that man's mindset, but okay.
He's not. Bradley Beal has been terrible on the Suns. That boy has scored 0 points in key games. That boy has scored 5 points in key games. That boy
Well,
has
nigga,
scored 10 points.
who's your worst person? Because to you, all these people are trash, bro. You
I
can't.
I already told you, Rudy Gobert, and if you
Okay.
want me to emphasize that joint again, I can,
Okay.
but I won't because I won't.
No, I was just about to
Oh,
say you literally use trash for Tyrese Halliburton, you use trash for Gobert, you use trash for Bradley Beal. So if
nah,
they all trash,
Tyrese.
then throw them all out.
I didn't know that Dalwan was giving 3 people. I
It's a
only,
whole
I
list.
only,
It's a
I
whole
only
list.
heard Tyrese Halliburton, so I went on Tyrese Halliburton. But if it's Tyrese Halliburton, Bradley Beal, Rudy Gobert,
It's
Rudy
whoever in the league
Gobert
you
is
want to pick.
last, Bradley Beal is second, and Tyrese Halliburton's first. But I'm saying Tyrese Halliburton is the best out of all 3 of them people because he does what he has to do. Literally,
I
Gobert, Rudy Gobert, he barely does what he has to do, but he gets what he has to do done. Bradley Beal does not do what he has to do. Bradley Beal is literally a Wizards merchant.
a wizard merchant.
All right.
He's a Wizards merchant. That's it. He can cook on the Wizards, but any other team, that boy is trash.
So now I think we should talk a little bit about the players that were voted as underrated players. The
All
top
right.
5 were number 1 was Cade, number 2 was Derek White, number 3 was Norman Powell, number 4 was Austin Reeves, and tied for 5th place were Jaren Jackson and Drew Holiday. And
I'm
so
sorry.
out of those guys, do
I'm
you think
sorry.
Cade is the true most underrated player, or do you have somebody else maybe on that list, or maybe you have somebody different? Who knows?
I'm definitely going to say Cade because the Pistons would not be what they have to be without Cade. But I need to hear the other 4 people that you said.
It's
But I'm
anybody
not
in the
gonna lie.
NBA. It's whoever you want to pick. It's the whole NBA.
Cade is definitely the most underrated player in the league. Not gonna lie.
I don't agree with that because he got voted for most improved, so I feel like people see him. But that's your opinion. Let's hear Nick's
And he's
opinion.
gonna be on the All NBA team.
So Nick, who do you have as the most underrated player?
Uh,
You have somebody from the list, or do you have somebody different?
yeah, I actually think it's Derek White.
Fair. Why do you say Derek White?
Because he does everything like rebounds, block shots, hustles, sacrifices his body, shoots threes. I feel like when I watch the Celtics game, he does like all the little things really great, and then plus he's capable of getting you 20, 30 points.
40.
So yeah.
Didn't
Yeah.
him and Pitcher both have 40 in the same game?
Yeah.
Was it
They
30?
did.
That's
No,
literally
40. They combined for 80 points.
Yeah, that's literally insane. That's something that you can never ever
Yeah.
think of out of your two. What do you call them? Your third and fifth option. Like that's insane.
Yeah, I think, and then I'm just gonna make this short and sweet, 5 seconds. Trey Murphy, my other one. Trey Murphy.
I like Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy does not get enough love. He definitely started to really shine when they
Yeah,
got rid of
his team is his team is terrible. Yeah.
I definitely think Trey Murphy is an all-star in the making.
Well,
about you,
wasn't Zion and Brandon Ingram out though when he was shining?
No,
Yeah, but
Zion played with him and he was going on.
Yeah.
What about you though, Tyler? Who do you have as your most underrated player in the NBA this year?
I'm gonna put somebody off the list, but full disclosure, I'm going to be biased. I'm going with my white boy down the road. I'm going with AR-15, bro.
Oh, he was on the list. He was 4.
Oh,
Yeah, he was
okay.
number 4.
He was
All right,
number
well,
4.
He's behind
reason-
Norman Powell, Derek White, and Cade.
Okay, so the reason I give it to AR-15 is you can say he's a third option. He don't got the attention, but I feel like the productivity that he's giving being the third option, like being that third option, you got to know that the only time you're really important is when they need you. So to be able to pick up, I need a big shot from you right now. He just doesn't shy away in those moments. And like I said, I think down the road we know what we get from LeBron. We know what we get from Luka. That third option is it could be make or break. And even though AR-15 ain't the best defender in the world, he gonna get that effort. And then, like I said, I feel like it's a lot of love hate with him. When he has them good games, he gets the love, but the people are quick to hate him. I give it. He's just solid, bro.
I got something to pick apart your little Bradley Beal thing now that you brought up Mr. AR-15. You see, I get what you're saying about how Bradley Beal is with 2 stars. He has to figure it out. But look at AR. AR is with 2 stars, and he doesn't give a damn. He still feels like I have the ball in my hands. I'm going to go do what I want to do with the basketball.
I completely agree with you. You know what I say to that?
What?
When you had your Bradley Beal take, I told you I didn't disagree with you.
That's fair.
I just asked you that question because y'all, like I said, live right down the road from him where he was on a heater in Washington. But I don't disagree with you, Bradley Beal.
Go ahead.
I feel like with Bradley Beal, it's more of an ego thing. Austin Reeves have never had to go from 1 to 3. That's confidence. That's ego. He was undrafted. Exactly. AR has always been, okay, find where you fit in and get groovy. So for me, I just feel like I said, I don't disagree with you with Bradley Beal. Overpaid, overvalued, just all that. But like I said, Austin Reeves has never had to go from a 1 from a 3.
That's fair.
Like being the option. So I feel like that's what helps Austin Reeves and not like that ego and confidence, because confidence is a huge thing in basketball. Like,
yeah.
And for Bradley Beal, you make all this money. You know they can't move you. You feel as if you're as talented, but you're the number 3 option. That's got to mess with you.
Yeah.
Tyler,
I think
I ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Do you think Austin Reeves can be a number 1 on a team?
No. On a team, yes. That doesn't on a good team. No, on a team,
not
yes.
on a Wizards type team, like on the Heat or something. Like on him and Tyler Hero. You think they'll be good?
I think they'll be the same team.
No.
I think Tyler Hero and Austin Reeves are probably like the same player. I will say though, and this is what I was gonna say, and I'm gonna leave this Bradley Beal thing alone. Russell Westbrook's single season in DC meant more than any of Bradley Beal's.
That's facts.
To you, I got 2 Bradley Beal jerseys.
I think when you think about how Russell Westbrook had an MVP caliber season in DC.
He did.
And took that team from the bottom
to the playoffs.
Having crazy.
Before you finish, I want to keep telling you, I did not disagree with you.
I just was saying. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just have a thing for Bradley Beal. I do.
He wants to kill Bradley Beal right now.
I'm sorry.
I never disagreed
honestly, it's the no trade clause, brother. I think he should stay in purgatory where he's at until the Suns just dissolve into the
So you got your own.
You don't think he should got the
but we're not talking about Bradley
Beal clause.
Nah.
Should have got the no trade clause.
Never.
No.
I mean,
he should have got some money. He shouldn't have got all that.
On the Wizards, like, bro, the Wizards are literally giving this man anything he wants.
Okay,
and
let's talk about a different performing team.
Just left. Russell Westbrook just left. He's like, I'll stay here, but I need a no trade clause for this reason.
Let's talk about a different underperforming team. We're done talking about the Washington Wizards.
Shit buckets.
Let's move on from that. Either way, like I said, I am here for Bradley Beal to stay in purgatory for the rest of his career. Anyway, we're just talking about the worst organizations, which number 2 was the Wizards, and at number 1 was the Hornets. What do you guys think you would do differently to try to fix the Hornets from the worst to at least maybe a mediocre or maybe viewed as a more valued organization?
That's hard.
I'll trade LaMelo Ball, even though he's the only thing that fills the seats. But I mean, I think you'll get a lot of trade capital for him. And
don't sleep on Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller gonna do some shit, but go ahead.
Yeah, but then I would hopefully pray to God that you can get the first pick in the draft and get Cooper Flag. and build around him and Brandon Miller and let go of Miles Bridges and LaMelo. No,
So you don't believe that they have the pieces now to try to turn it around?
no.
You don't think maybe they add, like you just said, let's say they do get with the current team they have. Let's say they do get Cooper Flag. You don't think that that could boost them?
Nah,
That
because
will boost
I
them.
don't want to sound like a dick, and I don't pray injury upon anybody, but I don't think LaMelo Ball's gonna stay healthy. So you might as well just trade the nigga and get shit
Nick,
back.
I
And
just
then go.
told you MVP season next year.
Yeah. No, he can have an MVP
Yeah,
season,
yeah,
but
yeah.
not stay healthy. So yeah, nah.
That's fair. I mean, you see how he started. He
And
started off this season. I thought he was about to try to get it averaging damn 30, but then he just
Until he couldn't stay on the court.
yeah.
you could
Honestly,
get
I think too him not getting the All Star nod, his numbers dipped. After he didn't get the All Star nod, I think his like he kind of it messed with him, like you said, yeah, with the confidence.
He was
And
probably salty.
he was like, I'm over here averaging 30 on a terrible team, and they don't even show me any love. So
Yeah, he was salty for sure.
yeah, man.
I mean, what are the other teams on that list, Dalvon?
The worst organization, the top three were number one, the Hornets at 38%. Number two were the Wizards at 20%. And number three was the Pelicans at 11%.
I feel like the Pelicans, they have all the pieces, but they have to stay healthy.
I think the question
Zion
is
got
how
to
would
stay
you
away
pick
from them girls.
that?
Them boys need to stay healthy, and Zion needs to lose a little more weight.
you look good.
I
Pause.
feel like he looked good, but like if he
You
loses,
look good, Pauls.
yeah. If he lose like 10 more pounds, he loses 10 more pounds.
Lay on that.
I feel like he'll play like he lose like 10 more pounds. He lose like 10 more pounds. I feel like he'll be like on Braun, like what Braun looked like in his rookie season.
I don't think we'll ever see another LeBron James. So, it's hard for me to agree with that.
Zion could be another LeBron James if he lost weight, if he actually focused on basketball, and if he had a shorty from high school type shit. That's all I think.
So I guess I'll go and I'll answer the actual question. I feel like the way to improve the Hornets is I agree with Nick. You can't have nobody on your team who can't stay on the court consistently. Now, one-off injuries, if you have a shoulder here, knee injury here, ankle there, okay, cool. They're all not connected, but his injuries are just repeating themselves. He doesn't show that he plans to prove it because, like I said, when he's on the court, he's giving you 30. He's averaging 30. So I feel like you take that potential, you try to put it elsewhere, get some other young stars you believe in. I feel like you put Keontae George next to Brandon Miller, they gonna go crazy. Just like another young guard or something like that. Definitely just trade LaMelo Ball, look for some draft capital. I don't think nothing you do within the next 10 years will put them in finals contention. But if we're talking just playoff contention, just fill that roster out. Let go of LaMelo Ball. It didn't work. He still could have a good career, but yeah, let him go, collect some assets, and yeah, just build that team out properly.
You think that Keontae George is one of the missing pieces that the Hornets need?
No, just a random example
Okay.
of young talent.
I like where
Just a
you were
random-
going because you were speaking about the playoffs, and I think that we should talk about this year's playoffs. With this year's playoffs, have kicked off. We have a couple of, some sleepy matchups, some a little bit more exciting. What's your guys' most exciting playoff matchup for the first round?
Clippers versus the Nuggets.
Fair.
That's mine. And I got the Nuggets going in 7.
About you, Nick?
Go ahead, Nick.
I was gonna say Knicks and Pistons just because they're like damn near about to fight every other play. So yeah.
So you're going just strictly off entertainment value.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do the opposite. I ain't gonna lie. My favorite team, like I said, is the Lakers. I believe we move on to the next round. So the question was, what's the most interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, interesting is just seeing who comes out this Rockets Warriors game, especially with what just happened with Jimmy Butler, with health being an issue. Like I said, I want my team to win the championship, so I'm gonna be invested in their future. So I gotta go Rockets Warriors. If the Warriors make it out healthy, I'm scared. If the Rockets make it out, I feel a little better. But yeah, I'm gonna go a little different with my pick.
So me personally, it's a close call for me because I feel like the Clippers and the Nuggets series is going to be a very, very good
Competitive,
series, down
yeah.
7.
Pretty,
Have the Clippers,
pretty cities.
but I think the most interesting to me is going to be is the Lakers versus the Timberwolves. I think it's going to it has to be a chess match because they're like a little contrasted in size, kind of like the Rockets and the Warriors. But I just think that the Lakers and the Timberwolves are a little bit more interesting because they're both like they both kind of already been here. The difference is the Rockets' first time. They're all young. I think that's just going to end up experience is going to play out. But the Timberwolves have been there. The Lakers are still trying to figure this out. And the Lakers want to play small. The Timberwolves are a pretty big team. I think it's just all a chess match, and I think that's the one that's going to be the most interesting. I think that goes down to 7. Personally, I think the Timberwolves might pull it out. I don't know.
Let me ask you 2 questions real quick. For your most interesting, you're speaking solely off viewing pleasure then.
I'm just saying what's the whatever to you is the most interesting. Whether it's you like Nick said, the most
No,
interesting one.
why did you pick that one? Like just
Because I think it's gonna be a chess match.
so
I think
why?
like
Okay.
basketball is gonna like I think you're gonna have to show basketball knowledge in that. Like I said, I think it's similar to the Rockets and the Warriors, but the problem is this is the Rockets' first time being here, so they're just gonna be amped up. I think the Timberwolves, they've been there and they went to the conference finals, so I think they're gonna try to get back and they're gonna. It's contrast in size. Lakers want to be small, Timberwolves want to be big. How can they figure out who can figure out which one works better?
I'm glad you said that because that's my second question. Would you compare the Rockets this year because they did get the second seed? Would you compare them to the Thunder of last year? First seed, inexperienced, just like you said, a little quick on the trigger. Would you think that's a fair comparison or no?
I'm in between because I think the Thunder team, and this is what I've been saying, I think the Rockets have too much talent.
I
I
agree.
think the Thunder are a little bit, I think even last year, and then it just kind of continued into this year. I think they're a much more cohesive unit.
I agree.
They're
Okay.
much
So
more like they know Shea is one. Shea feeds us, and then we eat from there. I feel like the Rockets sometimes Jalen Green feels like he's one. Sengun will feel like he's one. If you let Cam Whitmore get in there, he gets hot. He feels like he's one. I just feel like it's too many. You got a lot of young people who I still don't think have roles yet. I still think that they're still playing around with okay, I'm the guy during these, I'm the go-to guy, or I scored during the most. Like it's just they just got too much talent. I think the Thunder were more cohesive. So I don't really see them the same. I do and I don't see them the same because I see the same outing. I don't see them going far. I just think the Thunder were a little bit gelled better together.
yeah, okay. It just filled out better.
Yeah, like
I
and
got
the
you.
Rockets could prove me wrong by did ask the same thing the Thunder did this year.
No, I got you.
Like they could come back and damn 60 something wins and because we're one, Sengun is A, Jalen Green's B or whatever. But I just think that they have too much talent right now. I think
I
that's
agree. Their biggest problem is, and that's why I feel like they could be really good. You figure out which position you're the deepest at, which is damn near all of them. Get rid of some of those assets, build that team a little better, broaden that bench up, and then, like I said, you don't need all those people. I think the Rockets. We're gonna look back at the Rockets as like that OKC team. We're gonna see all the talent that they did have and where they are in 5 years, and be like, damn, all those people played on one team. I feel like that's kind of where they're at right now.
yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, yeah, that's exactly what I feel. We're gonna look back and like you said, we're gonna be like, whoa, these people that must have been. It's gonna be funny, like you said, 5 years. We're gonna see them all individual and be like, that must have been the greatest team ever, or
Exactly.
like, how did that
Exactly.
team not work out? Yeah, like I feel like they
Like
have
James Harden, Russell Westbrook, KD, like we all, how did they not? Same thing. But I'd go further to say the Rockets might have more talent, just people wise, than that team had.
I don't know.
Because they're deep. The Rockets are deep.
Yeah, they're pretty. They're definitely they're gonna be a force. I'm not gonna lie. I can't act like that this is going to be a one-off team, but I also think that some other teams are going to come back and make it a little
I'll tell
hard.
you.
But let's pick some winners for the playoff series. I think we're going to start with the East first. Cleveland versus Miami. I feel like we all know that one. We can give games if you don't have games. I got Cleveland in 4.
Cleveland in 4.
Cleveland, I'm gonna give Miami a sympathy game.
Nice gentleman. You're a gentleman.
Yeah.
Same thing. I'm gonna go
I'll
Denver.
say, 4-1, fucking,
Yeah, I'm
that
gonna
plays.
go gentleman sweep. I'm gonna go 4-1.
All
All
right.
right.
Boston, Orlando.
I say
Boston sweep.
4-1.
Boston was rated the highest team in the anonymous
Okay.
poll to win the championship.
Yeah, I say Boston sweep just because experience, Magic inexperience. The Heat, they know a little bit. That's why I give the Heat 1 game. I don't think the Magic get one over Jason. I mean, Jason Tatum sat out today and they still picked up the win. The Celtics are just too
Did win
deep.
by?
Celtics are 4.
Then there's Milwaukee versus Indiana. This was another one of my intriguing ones, but you know,
I'm
I
on
get
Indiana.
in 6.
say that again. You guys were both talking.
Indiana in 6.
Who do you got?
Indiana in 5.
Tyler, are we swinging the? Is this we Pacers all the way here?
Yeah, I'm on Pacers 5.
Yeah, I think the Pacers get it done in 5 or 6. One of those as well. I don't think they're gonna need 7. I don't think Milwaukee's gonna get that together. They're not playing. I just feel like the Pacers, like people were like
Overwhelm
talking
them.
about the matchup. No, I just think the Pacers really have Milwaukee's number. Like there's just some teams that just have another team's card, and I think the Pacers just got Milwaukee's number.
And it's those
Yeah.
2 bigs. You got 2 bigs, and then you got a team who lives in the paint. I mean, they got shooters, but their main star lives in the paint. And you got 2 aggressive bigs with
Yeah.
Pascal and Miles Turner. Like they're not going to shy away from that. So I like that. I like that.
And I
move.
definitely feel like the Pacers have overwhelmed the Bucks enough to where like the Pacers move really fast on offense and the Bucks can't get on defensive level like that.
Yeah,
That's why
All
they
I'm gonna
beat
say
them
is
last year.
we gotta get Giannis out of the Bucks, bro. I think everybody, as far as just viewing the NBA, Giannis with another team, it would make the NBA so excited. I
what
don't
would
care
your dream
where.
team be for Giannis?
For me,
If you could pick him up and put him down.
all right. Non-biased. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Don't say it.
Him on the Warriors would be exciting. Perfect. It'd be perfect.
So
You could play the 5.
who
You can
who
play
would
the 5.
It'd be a
trade for that?
Like I said, non-biased, because I mean, obviously, I could say he could come to the Lakers and replace that AD role, but I'm just talking out my butt. But honestly, just to see like good basketball, him and Golden State would be beautiful, beautiful.
I agree to that.
But they're definitely gonna have to trade somebody. They're gonna
I
have
think
to trade like a couple people for him.
That's true. But I mean, it's not like that's gonna happen.
And that's key pieces that y'all are using right now.
It was just a drag and drop situation. We weren't really getting into the nitty gritty things.
I
But
feel that.
lastly, it's between the Knicks and the Pistons. Knicks' most intriguing series.
I'll start. Pistons in 6, man.
Oh, you got Pistons in 6?
Pistons
I got
in 6.
Pistons in 7.
Pistons in 6.
Pistons in
I got-
7. I don't
I
think
got
the
Knicks.
Brunson can
And,
get with.
I got Knicks and 6.
Yeah, Nick, me and you were clearly a lot smarter than our co-host.
All right, I'm going to put a little caveat on here that he's not going to. But if Delvon was not a Warriors fan, he would be a Knicks fan. Don't let him lie to you. So there is some bias. Just to
we
put that
already
out
know. Hey,
Nah,
Nah, they
Tyler.
don't know. So I'm gonna let them know.
Yeah,
not true all the time.
yeah, we know.
But yeah, like I
This
said, I
boy
got the
has
Pistons.
been
Like
really
I said, man,
important.
they just happen to have the greatest Nick ever, and it's just a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah,
And another
greatest Nick
sidebar,
ever.
and
Who?
Just another sidebar. Jalen Brunson is the nastiest person to watch play basketball in the NBA. That foul baiting is gross. But we're not even gonna talk about it. We're gonna move on. Don't even.
Tyler. Thank you. I've been
No.
telling this man's Dalvon for
Disgusting.
a smooth minute. I've been telling Dalvon for a smooth minute that I can't even watch that last game, but this man Jalen Brunson has been foul baiting for like the last.
Here's what I
5
have to
games.
say
That's
to your foul bait,
crazy.
right?
No.
Here's what I have
I
to
think
say.
he,
Tell the defenders to stay on their feet.
Okay.
I
But
agree with
if I
Dalvon.
if I
Tell
jump,
them to
But
stay
you
on their
can
feet.
say that. Look at the difference of when Luka gets Gobert on him versus when Jalen Brunson gets a big on him.
Lunch food.
I understand to stay on the feet, but bro, all of them calls Brunson gets, I'm not giving him all them calls.
so
I'm not.
you can't jump. You can't. The defender
They
can't.
don't
jump,
even jump half
and
the
then-
time. They're
and
just
then-
standing here
and
and
then
he
Jalen
goes
Brunson
into
jumps
him.
right into them. That's crazy.
So check me out,
Nah,
right?
let's not get stuck on this,
check
bro.
me out,
Because
right?
I promise you, I'm gonna tee up on this. I'm
Nah,
gonna tee up.
word.
So check this out,
Tyler,
right?
I'm with you, bro.
So check this out, right? So you guys see how you guys have a scouting report, right? Don't teams
Scouting report, yeah,
get scouting reports?
yeah, we got it, and we know.
So why
Jalen Brunson
doesn't
is
so
a
why
foul
don't the
baiter.
teams follow their scouting report? Because it's probably in there that Jalen Brunson is coming for a foul.
Okay, but like
They
at the
just
same
can't guard
time,
him.
I thought they took
Thank
that
you,
out
Nick.
of the league.
Thank
I thought
you,
they took
Nick.
that out the league already.
That's all I'm trying to
Bro,
say. That's all I'm
I'm
trying to
not
say.
lying,
You get
man.
paid a
I don't
lot
really-
of money
I'm-
to read and do stuff. So like,
Okay.
And I don't really
Did you-
care because
Did
I
you hear
seen
what
every.
I said? I didn't
Huh?
say nothing about him. I said he's the most disgusting person to watch. I don't like watching that.
see,
I want to see you. I want to see you get in your bag. If you got a big on you, take him to the hole. If you got a big on you, you feel me? Make him look stupid. I
Darius
don't want to watch
Garland.
that.
Jalen
I'm not
Brunson
saying
has one of the
Yeah,
illest
y'all
post
tripping.
games, like for somebody
For a
being that
6 foot-
small.
Who
Like
I'm
can
not
put
lying,
it to
man.
post
work?
game is nasty.
Look,
He's sit-
bro.
Darius
He's 6
Garland.
Nasty.
feet.
It's
He's literally
nasty.
6 feet tall, bro. And
He
You
gets
about to
in
get
the
me out of my
post.
body, bro. No.
He gets in
Sorry.
the
Don't
post.
like yes.
It has
Who? Okay. I'm gonna say this. He is skilled. He is talented. The way he plays, I don't like to watch it. Like that's it. It's not. I'm not gonna say he's not good. It's nasty.
We're not saying that he foul breaks every time. We're
Oh,
just
I
saying,
am. I am.
nah,
Don't speak for
literally,
yourself.
literally,
Tell the
Jalen
defenders to
Brunson
read their
will get
scouting
a
report.
person jumping. Jalen Brunson will get a person jumping and jump right into them, and they'll call it a foul. I'll
Yeah,
be like,
nigga, don't
bro,
jump.
that's
Don't jump.
actually insane,
Thank
bro.
you.
Dalvon,
Okay,
if you were the
I'm
defender,
not.
if you were the defender, you're clamping the person up, and
I
then
think y'all just don't
you
like
jump-
when he
you
complains
jump
to the
right because you
refs.
think they're about to shoot a three. They pump fake you and jump into you, and they call a foul. How would you feel?
How would I feel when I
Yeah.
read on the scouting report that he's going to try to draw a foul off of the jump shot?
You
I'm
didn't
not
answer
going to
my
be. I'm not
question,
going to
though.
try to give him the opportunity to do it.
You didn't answer my question though.
But I'm going to be realistic. You're trying to give me a pickup ball scenario, and we're talking about they got scouts that get paid to give them a scouting report.
Bro, but like at the same time, that's not real basketball.
Yeah, it is.
Scouting report. It's
We
like
got two
read.
different arguments. He's trying to say, like I said, that's not real, but I just don't. I'm not turning on the.
I
next
get what
game
you're
to see
saying.
that.
You're
I'm
saying it's not
wasting my time.
visually. It's not
Yeah,
visually.
you just don't
He's
like
gonna
watching
give
him
you
play.
30. He's gonna put up at least 10 free throws. Oh, that's a given. I'm not wasting my time watching that.
Nah, me neither,
so then,
bro.
So then let me ask you a
Tyler,
question.
I'm
So
with
do you
bro.
not like Shea then?
You don't like
Shea
Shea
don't
or
do that.
You
Shea
want me to be
does not
honest?
do that.
Shea probably shoots the most free throws.
No, no, he
you want
doesn't.
me
He
to be
doesn't
honest?
actually. He doesn't. Shea doesn't.
Yeah,
shoot
go ahead. Be honest,
free
Tyler.
throws, actually.
I think the top 5 in free throws. Bro, I literally
Shea's
just
not
looked.
even top 3 in free throws.
Yeah, you could take away Shea's free throws, he'll still lead the league in scoring, but he does get a lot of free throws.
Yeah, because they actually be fouling him because he be cooking them.
But everybody felt like, bro, I watch Luka get fouled all the time. I watch Jokic.
Yeah, but Nick, does Luka do the stuff that Jalen Brunson does?
Nah, he doesn't do it as bad, but he'll still like, bro, when Luka dribbles in the mid range, bro, when he does that fucking like he's about to do that, that slow ass step back, nigga, he'll fake it, jump into him, he gets a foul every time. But it's a foul.
I feel that. I feel that 100%. but Jalen Brunson does that joint so crazy that is like
Bro,
blatantly.
he's
It's
6 feet.
blatant.
Bro, he's 6 feet tall and athletic.
Oh,
He has to manipulate the
Oh,
system.
so what?
like was said earlier, Mr. Shea Gilchrist-Alexander has made the most free throws this year.
Yeah, but he hasn't. But I don't think he has the most attempts
Attempted.
though.
You have to go attempted.
He's made 100 more free throws than the second best person. I feel like he probably attempted the most, but we'll see.
Because I gotta say, if you took away his free throws, I think they said he would still lead the league in scoring.
He would. By far.
I just know when the Lakers took away his free throws, they lost. That's all I know.
Yeah. I would literally just put a tall, athletic guy on him and tell him don't reach.
You guys
That's
have
all I know.
Like
So, we played them.
Honest led with 707.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Shea Gilchrist-Alexander was number 2 with 669. Number 3 is
the
James
highest guard
Harden.
on that list.
Huh?
So he's the highest guard on that list.
He is. Jalen
Okay,
Brunson.
obviously. Okay.
No.
Joker shot more free throws than him. Devin Booker, Ant-Man, Trae Young, James Harden, Shea.
Okay, so do you want me to answer the question you asked me? Do I feel the same about SGA?
Yeah.
I don't watch the Thunder, so I guess that I'm not wasting my time watching the Thunder.
Oh yeah, you're tripping.
Them as a team to me is not like fun basketball.
The Thunder are one of the best defensive teams in the league.
I like watching SGA.
They can be whatever they want. It's what I want to watch. They could be the best team in all of basketball. He asks, do I feel the same? Yes,
they are the
same.
best team in all of basketball, but I feel
so you basically don't like
what you're
isolation like all game.
I like street ball. Get in your bag and make it look stupid.
That's what Shea be doing.
He literally just said Shea is a free throw merchant, bro. I'm not watching 30 minutes of you at the free throw line.
You go to Shea, you watch Shea for real, he's not a free throw merchant.
If you watch Jalen Brunson for real, he's not a free throw merchant.
Yes, he is.
So then we're all just talking about
Jalen Brunson is way more.
You just said that Shea is not a free throw merchant, and he shot over 200 more free throws than the guy you're calling a merchant. Come on.
Hey, if a nigga gets in his bag, you gotta foul sometimes. Jalen Brunson jumps into niggas and gets a fucking foul.
I don't think you watch Jalen Brunson enough.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't. If anything, I think people just get tired of when they bitch to the refs. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Luka's only played like 25 games. That nigga be pissing me off when he be complaining every play to the refs. Like, it's honestly annoying.
Bro, I'm telling you, Jalen Brunson draws fouls blatantly than Shea does.
You want me to be honest though? Like 100% honest, and then we can move off of it. You know what I think makes me the most mad about Jalen Brunson? Is because, like you said, it's a skill to do that, but he knows. Before the whistle is blown, I promise you he's walking through the free throw line every time. That type of confidence and knowing you're going to get the whistle just makes me mad. Like, I'm a hater. I just don't like it.
Okay, see, now that's more understandable.
You're a hater. I understand. I have my people I hate.
We can, unfortunately on this pod, we understand hating.
Hey, the real and the haters. Might as well call it that.
All right, so now we're gonna go to the West. There's a ass whooping going on in Oklahoma City.
Okay,
yeah.
I will say though, I have been very disappointed. I didn't think the Grizzlies were gonna win, but I thought they would put up a fight. I did not expect them to go out there and just bend over and tell them to have their way.
Maybe OKC is just this good and people just didn't know it.
That's what's going on in OKC. Not gonna lie.
Maybe OKC is just this good.
It's almost like I think the cops need to be called. Something.
Be just this good and people didn't know it.
I just have one thing to say. Jaren Jackson's one of the most overrated players. And the Memphis Grizzlies are fucking they're terrible.
So I won defensive player the 2 years ago.
Okay, before we agree, OKC and 4, right?
Yes.
Next match. We don't even got to talk about
Denver versus the Clippers.
Nuggets in 7.
I'm not gonna lie. Nuggets in 6.
Double on? Nah. Go,
I got
Mitchell.
I got the Clippers in 7.
I'm with you.
I got the Clippers in
I'm
7.
with
I
you.
got Nuggets in 7.
I got
I'm
the
with you.
Clippers in 7. I'm not gonna
All
lie.
right. Timberwolves, are we talking about it or we just gonna leave it at that? It's a split again. So once again, y'all gotta let us know who y'all feeling.
I'm just going with the best player on the planet, and I'm not. And I think Kawhi won't have another game where he, oh man, he
James Harden
shoots
might cook
what,
though. That's why
15
I
to
said
19. Yeah, James Harden. We're gonna get a sell. We're gonna get vintage James Harden sell, and then Norman Powell hasn't been on nothing, so I'm gonna go Nuggets in 6.
Yeah.
okay. The
I just
reason
think
I
this
have
might be the Clippers here, man.
the reason
I
I
just
have the Nuggets in 7 is because Jokic is the best player on the planet, like Nick said. Plus, I feel like Jamal Murray is gonna have 1 or 2 games where he actually demolish anybody that's guarding him. Plus, I feel like James Harden's gonna have 1 or 2 games that he freaking sells. 100%.
And I
can
think
I
we
ask y'all a
should
question?
people though for that.
Let me ask y'all a question. Please, I don't want this to be a debate because I know it can go
No,
crazy.
no, I'll go. I'll
All right.
give the 15
But
seconds.
I just seen this poll. I've never thought about it this way, but I'm kind of leaning towards it.
What?
Is Kawhi Leonard a better NBA player than Kevin Durant?
Yes.
Two teams, main player, 2 chips. Just
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
What 2 teams though?
The Spurs and the Raptors.
He wasn't the
Somebody needs
best
to teach
player
us
on the
NBA
Spurs.
history.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
he
lie.
was. He won Finals MVP.
Not gonna say he was the best player on the team though. They only gave him Finals MVP because he guarded LeBron. But
I mean,
same
he
thing about
averaged 20
Andre
points.
Iguodala. They gave him
I'm not. I'm just gonna make my response
guarding
short
LeBron,
because I
but
don't.
not gonna
He
say he's
averaged
the
20
best player
points,
on
and
that
then
team.
I'm gonna go
Hold
with
on,
KD.
one mic.
Okay,
Sorry,
Nick.
sorry.
Nick, let me say.
I'm gonna go. Kawhi averaged 20 in that series off Fonny, and Tim Duncan was old, and Tony Parker was washed, and Ginobili was old. And then I'm gonna go KD because I think he's the better player overall. But if Kawhi didn't get hurt, they probably be like equal. If he
Okay,
didn't miss so much, they'd be.
Nick, I'm not gonna lie to you. They only gave it to Kawhi. The same reason they gave it to Andre Iguodala.
Okay.
Because LeBron averaged fucking 25 that series, and they still gave it to that nigga. But at the same time, he won with the Raptors, but KD got hurt. If KD did not get hurt, if Clay did not get hurt, would we really be talking about Kawhi right now?
Hold on. Can you stop for a second? Didn't you just choose Kawhi and now you're like just taking apart his career?
No, I didn't.
I don't know what just happened.
No, I said Kawhi was not it. I didn't say Kawhi. I said Kawhi. They only gave him Finals MVP because of LeBron.
So who do you think is the better player?
KD.
Okay, Tyler, it's your turn. Who do you think is the better player?
Like I said, I don't want y'all to get confused with skill, with most talented basketball player for my team. Give me Kawhi, bro.
This nigga Devon take Kawhi. I already see it.
And why are you taking Kawhi?
You? I mean, why me?
Yeah.
See, look, y'all got all them stupid smirks on your face, boy. I'm dead serious right now.
Yeah, because I feel like I just jokes.
So you want to take it easy money?
Yeah. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
So we're all agreed on one thing. We're all taking KD over Kawhi.
Every time. Every time.
I think it's
out, boy.
Never take Kawhi over KD. That's crazy.
All right.
Kawhi, if he didn't.
We got the Lakers, Minnesota series.
Oh, Lakers and
Yeah,
6.
Edwards, Heath Ledger, good measure. Lakers in 5.
I got Timberwolves in 7.
Okay.
All right.
Tyler, the resident Lakers fan.
Um,
Let's hear your biased opinion.
Niggas in the Bay.
Lakers in 6.
Okay. And lastly, but of course, the most important, Golden State versus the Rockets.
Rockets.
If Jimmy is healthy, Warriors in 7. If Jimmy's hurt, Rockets in 6. Or no, Rockets in 5. Sorry, dog one.
I like that energy. I like that energy.
So you
And I gotta look.
have them 4-0ing us, basically.
I like that, Nick.
If Jimmy Butler is hurt, dog one, your number 2 option is Brandon Podziemski. Yes.
He talking about the most important
Look
series.
at this boy.
Nobody's gonna click on that to watch Jalen Green, Sengun, and BP, boy.
And Amen Thompson.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm trapping Curry on every screen, and I'm making everybody else beat me. That's what
Forget that. I'm beating
Yo, let
Curry
Draymond
up,
shoot
bro.
12 threes a game. We good.
I'm
Well,
gonna send my 13th man in the rotation to go kill Curry. Just kill him, bro. I don't care what you do.
Hey, yo, tackle this nigga. I don't give a fuck. Nigga, you
y'all
don't
need
gotta
to
play the
stop
rest of the
playing
season.
with the best point guard in the NBA.
Who?
You see where I'm at? I'm in the Bay, boy. Kill him. I don't care.
Who's the best point guard in the NBA?
Hold on. What are we talking about? Let's get to the playoffs.
Wait,
I
huh?
heard best point guard in the NBA. I just want
He said best point guard ever.
No, I
He
said
said in the NBA.
we can say ever too. That's fine. Whatever one you want to say.
He
fine.
said NBA. I just want to.
Either way, I have my Warriors still in 6. With Jimmy, without Jimmy, 6.
Without Jimmy, y'all might lose in 6.
Like I said, we see who's the Lulu.
And, you know,
Hey, I'm gonna do like Shannon Sharp, Harrison Butker, Caron Butler, the Butler in my house, Rockets in 6.
Rockets. Oh, he said Rockets in 6.
oh my god.
Harrison Butler.
All right. Anyway,
No, I'm just talking shit. Go ahead, rock out. Say what you want to say.
like I said, y'all, Warriors in 6, man. That's all that really matters. All these other series are just waiting to be losers to the Warriors. But I think that's where we're going to cut things off today. Want to thank everybody for rocking with us on this one. And, peace.